Hi everyone, my name is Paula Ilaria Cosino. I'm also known as Cosino Art. I am a filmmaker, I am an animation and visual effects producer, director, but most importantly, I'm an artist. But let's not get distracted by all that. I appreciate you guys are here, so if you are curious about my film career, you can go ahead and check IMDb. Because today we're actually going to focus on you. Today, a journey to inner artist begins. But first, let's make something clear. This is not an art tutorial. I'm not gonna ask you to repeat after me when I draw lines, and this is just generally a very different format. In this session, throughout these 8 weeks, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself and you as an artist. And throughout the whole thing, we're gonna be focusing on you. And now I want you to get into the right set of mind. But first, let's get comfy. There you go, that's much better. Did you guys grab your favorite tea? I personally prefer lavender and chamomile. It's really nice for relaxation, and that's something I highly recommend to everyone too, especially if you're a night person like I am. I developed a Journey to Inner Artist series to help people overcome their fears, to help them unleash that creativity, that inner artist that each one of us has inside. Here's an example of one of my students who I actually tested this series on. We've been doing sessions once a week, every week, for about 3 months. So here is her work before, throughout, and after. And the thing is, I didn't teach her how to draw. I only guided her in the right direction. Everything she's done herself. The only difference is she overcame her fears and she started really looking into herself as an artist. What's so significant about art is that art is a natural outlet. It's a natural therapy. It's our way to let our emotions, feelings, and everything dragging us down out. Sad thing is, people just believe that one is born talented. But here's the thing, talent is a myth. When you go to school, you don't start to write and read perfectly right away. You learn, because it's just a skill. And so the thing is, any other creative activity, drawing, sculpting, anything, it's also a skill. Art is really just a natural outlet. So, for example, there are people that thrive in work, there are people that focus on their relationships, there are people that build their career, and all of those things are great, but I think truly blessed people are those who learned how to blossom and develop themselves in art. Ever since Stone Age, people would express themselves through art, and that's been an outlet for people for centuries. The problem is, nowadays a lot of people think that in order for you to create, you need a talent. So if you're gonna remember anything from this course, remember this: talent is a myth. You know, recently I realized how many times people told me things like, I cannot draw. You're so talented, I wish I could draw. I don't have any talents. Well, for those of you who thought so, you can. Why do we always try so hard to put ourselves in a box? And then we close the box and tell ourselves, I just can't do it. The truth is, anyone can draw. There are people who do not have hands or face other physical challenges, and this still doesn't stop them. So when you tell yourself, I can draw, you're just robbing yourself of infinite possibilities that could possibly even change your life. I had a friend who has never drawn in her entire childhood, but she always admired it. So when we went to high school, she decided to start learning it. She started from nothing, okay? Nothing. She couldn't draw like simple sticks and circle shapes. Nothing. But just in 1 year, she made a significant progress. And then, when we graduated, she got accepted in one of the most amazing art schools, which, by the way, is not that easy to get into.
And now, years later, she graduated and she's a very talented and expressive artist. And people that meet her, they never actually believe that she started to draw just in high school. They always think that she started when she was a baby. To be completely honest, drawing is just a skill. If you really wish to draw, all you need is to put some effort in it. People are not just born talented, no. They just start developing a certain skill earlier than others, and by the time they start to make real progress, other people just call it a talent that this person was lucky to be born with. And because this happens so often, we don't even think about it. And do you know what happens with any skill? If you keep developing it, it only gets better. But if you stop practicing it, the skill will slowly fade no matter how long you've been doing it for. When I was in art university, I stopped drawing for a couple years in the art university. And yeah, I would doodle a bit from time to time, but keep in mind, my whole life, I've been drawing every day and it was normal for me. I was surrounded by amazing artists, and I think maybe part of the reason I stopped really drawing was because I was a bit intimidated by all of those incredible people around me. And this is also very wrong. Do not ever do that. First of all, if you stop developing any skill, it will slowly start fading. During that artistic pause of my drawing skill decreased so much that it was hard to believe that I've been drawing my whole life. And second, like I said, drawing is just a skill, which means you can always get better at it. So letting yourself being intimidated by people who develop that skill better than you is only harming you and your development as an artist. Now, let's talk about art and talent. I don't want people to get me wrong. I'm not trying to somehow lower importance of personal uniqueness and artists in general. No, I'm an artist myself. I just look at this way. Drawing is a skill. And if one person will spend enough time and effort, they will get good at it. But drawing is also a tool that helps artists express their uniqueness and vision. You and your vision is what makes you an artist. You are talented, but not because you can draw, it's because you can express yourself through drawing. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not talented or that you can't draw, because it is one of the biggest and most common lies we tell ourselves and the others. If you wish you could draw, just pick up a pencil and start drawing. Face your inner fear of failure and just start. And no, of course it doesn't mean that you will immediately get good at it, but days will go by, and as you continue drawing, you will notice a huge change. Then years will pass, and one day you will look back at this day when you actually started drawing and won't even believe that there was a time you only wish you could. Finding yourself as an artist, finding a way to express real you and your inner world isn't every artist's struggle, but also it's one of the most rewarding and satisfying part of being an artist. You are good enough. You are talented. The only thing that can stop you is you. So now ask yourself, do you really wish you could draw? If the answer is yes, just go grab a piece of paper and anything that can write and start drawing. In fact, I challenge you, starting right now, to start drawing a little something every day for the next month. You don't have to draw for hours, unless of course you want to. Just make sure there's at least one drawing every day. Then a month from now, draw what you've been drawing the first day of the challenge, but try to make it as good as you can. Then put two papers next to each other and see the difference. And if you want, share it with me. I would love to see your progress. You can make a difference in just a month. Imagine what you can do in years. Experiment, try, challenge yourself. Mix the media. Unleash your inner beast.
You are talented. You are good enough. And the only person that is stopping you is you. Now let's talk about why are we even here? Well, what are we doing this for? To be honest, in my whole life, if I'm just speaking for myself, of course, but I've been drawing and generally doing all of the creative stuff ever since I was a kid. And that's one constant thing that has always been in my life. No matter how many times I had to move, no matter how many challenges I had to go through, no matter when I lost friends, found friends, whatever was going on with family, no matter what was going on in the world around me, I always had this feeling that, you know, that I will never be alone. I always had this feeling that there is this root, there is this power inside of me, and no matter how hard life gets me, I will still be okay for as long as I can do it, for as long as I can keep making art. And that's kind of something I had ever since I was a kid, and I feel like in many ways that was a reason I had courage to do so many things too, because I was not afraid. I held on to this power, and it just made me stronger. And I was persistent at it too. I would draw on every single class in my school from elementary to high, and elementary to middle school teachers would like nag about it, take away my sketchbook, but in high school they just stopped giving a, stopped caring whatsoever. They were like, okay, you do you, good luck in your life, bye, math is not your thing. And so that's just something I held on to, and I'm so happy that I did, because no matter the emotions I'm feeling, I might be happy, I might be sad, I might be overwhelmed, art generally helps me go through the day, every single day. And especially through those dark times too. I've been through some very dark times, and art helped me through it. The benefits of discovering an artist inside of you is that you're giving yourself a chance to grow, to be better, to express yourself. You're letting your emotions out. You probably know that crying sometimes can be helpful, right? And that when we're suppressing our cries, we actually make it worse for our health. So just like that, just like crying can help us relieve stress, art can help us in the same level, and maybe even more, because there are so many complicated feelings and situations where art can help us so much more, because we can express ourselves so much more effectively, carefully, detailedly. And most importantly, not only can we express ourselves, afterwards we can look at what we created and reflect. We can start to understand our own feelings, and that's another reason why it makes it so powerful. Another beautiful thing about becoming an artist or discovering one in yourself, once you find a place in your life for creativity, it's like you're basically getting a whole new life. There is so many things, so many opportunities and doors that can open just because you open yourself to it. And also, creative people tend to stick together. There is a whole new creative society out there for you to discover. There are so many amazing people to meet, so many experiences to try, and honestly, only thing that's standing on your way is you. What really makes artwork special is not a skill. It's not how good this person is drawing, how strong is his technique. It's all about the uniqueness of this unique person. It's all about how special you are. Because every person, we're all different. We relate to different things, we like different things. We've experienced different situations. Some of us are traumatized, some of us, everybody has something going on. And that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. Your experience, your love and hate for things, everything you have inside, and that's what's gonna make your art great. So don't try and be the best at drawing lines. Try to be the best at expressing you, because this is a way to go, because this is a way to express your inner artist. And third thing I'm gonna ask you to do during all of these 8 weeks is try. And that's exactly what we're gonna do in this course. during the next 8 weeks. You're gonna learn about different kinds of art, different techniques, how they're used, but our main focus is gonna be you. And the goal of this course is just to help you and encourage you to try. And the biggest secret is what a lot of people don't understand, and I personally encountered it a lot because I try a lot of things, is that people are just scared of trying. And the thing is, you will never know until you actually try. And I know for some people they feel like they're making a commitment. What if I'm not gonna like it? What if I'm not good at it? Maybe drawing is really your thing. Maybe, I don't know, watercolors is your special talent that you never knew about. But until you actually tried, you would never find out. That's how I actually stumbled upon art therapy and producing. That's basically how I stumbled upon everything I love. It's because I tried everything I didn't like. Okay, I tried it. That's good enough. You can move on. You don't have to stick to the thing that you don't love. So if you're really curious about something and you feel like you would want to try it, just try it. It can be anything. It doesn't matter. Maybe you want to try volunteer in a dog shelter. Maybe you want to try paint acrylics. Maybe you saw some beautiful resin art on Instagram. You have no idea how to do it. But if you like it, if you're interested and feel drawn to it, just give it a shot. Yes, maybe it won't be your lifelong dream. Maybe it's not going to be something that you will do in the future at all. Maybe you will get bored on the next day. But the most important thing is you will try and you'll know, okay, this is not my thing. Because that's the only way to find what's yours. So that's exactly what we're gonna do in this course. We're gonna try, we're gonna experience things, experiment, go out of our comfort zone. And while we are doing all of those things, there's gonna be a tool that you guys need to get now. I mean right now, because your so-called homework actually involves some work in it. Throughout this course, we will be reflecting and working with the artist journey book. Yeah. So basically, I just want you to go and get a sketchbook. It doesn't matter what color it is, what size it is, what exact paper or company it is. Most important thing is, first of all, you should like it. It's important that size is comfortable for you. So if you love a big ass sketchbook, that's good. If you want a small one, that's fine too. It's only up to you. I would recommend a thicker paper though. I suggest you to get a mixed media paper or watercolor sketchbook because those have a thicker paper. So with mixed media paper, you're not limited to only, drawing with pencil. You can do a lot of things with it. First thing I would like you to do is decorate it. Because it is gonna be your book. It's gonna reflect your very own journey. So at some point in this journey, I want you to start decorating, preferably right now. You don't have to finish it right away. You can decorate it as you go through your journey. You can draw, write on it. You can add some stickers. You can maybe even add some textures, whatever you feel like. It doesn't really matter. Because in the end, we're gonna have some illustrations in it, some writings, reflections. So it's important that you like it. It's gonna be something like a sketchbook, but the big difference is instead of just sketching random things, you're gonna be reflecting on your art journey. You can also think about it as art journaling. If you ever try art journaling, it can be very fun. It involves a lot of gluing, collecting, collaging. It's very fun. So that's also something that we'll be doing throughout the course, which is why I do recommend you to get a thick sketchbook. This book will be a reflection on your journey. You will be able to see how you went through it. And the best part is you don't have to finish it as we finish the course. You can keep on going and even get another one when this one is done. Because honestly, in the end, everything we learn and everything we do is not really about the goal. It's about the journey. So enjoy your journey. Another thing is every time you make some changes, additions in your art journey sketchbook, I would like you to put on a date. That's an important part because this way you can kind of see your progress through, especially after you've been doing this for a while. So that can be an important part. So please don't forget. This art journey sketchbook, it's all about you. It's all about how you feel, what you like. So if you're feeling blue, you don't have to hide it. You don't have to, draw rainbows and unicorns, but at the same time feel really crappy. If you feel dark, go dark. That's fine. Nobody's gonna judge you. And in fact, you don't even ever have to share or show this to anybody. I would say that it is good to show your work, and we're gonna cover it later on in the sessions. But at the same time, I don't want you to feel suppressed. I don't want you to feel self-conscious about what you do, because this is what you do for you. This is for your own good and your own benefit. So don't let yourself stop you again. Don't put yourself in a box. Just let your feelings flow. Let it bleed out on the paper. If you saw something that made you inspired, draw it. Or take a picture of it and include it in there, just like in a journaling. Because after all, this is going to be a diary of your whole inner artist journey. So just be true to yourself, your artist self. Another thing I want to mention is this, throughout this course, you will be getting assignment after every session. And I would like to include this assignment in this art journey book. Well, let me introduce you to a couple of techniques just to get you started. First technique is what I like to call a child's drawing technique. So first thing you should do is think about, what do you like? What attracts your attention? Do you like beautiful flowers? Try to draw one. Do you maybe like comics or manga? Do you maybe like comics or manga and you like how it looks? Try to draw that. And in the beginning, don't try to work with any references specifically for this technique. I just want you to try and start drawing from your imagination. Just however you can. It doesn't matter. Remember, there is no judgment here. And every drawing you do is a step to progress. Every time you draw something, it's a progress. So most important thing is not to get self-conscious and not start judging yourself, because there is no point. Really, the only way to fail, the only way to be defeated, if you start judging yourself. So don't. Let yourself free. Let yourself try. See what I did there? Try. Just think about something maybe in your life, something you like. That's how kids usually do it. Think about it, imagine it, and draw it. You can draw however you want. The technique, the media, it all does not matter. Got it? Now please add your child's drawing technique drawing into your sketchbook. Okay, next technique I'm going to teach you today is the observation technique. Observation technique is something that's been used by artists for generations. And again, we're not learning any rules here, and I'm not going to start by talking about anatomy, shading, lighting, all of that. No, we are going to cover that, but like for a second, this is not what this is about. This is about you. Again, just you. So for the observation technique, really it's all in the name. Basically, I want you to look around you, pick an object. It can be a person, it can be an object, it can be a pattern, doesn't matter, whatever you pick. The only thing is, this time you're not drawing from your head, you're actually going to be drawing from the reference, but you have to pick just one object, not two, not one and a half, just one. If it's a jar of flowers, it's only jar of flowers. There is no table, nothing, just this one object. If it's a pattern, then it's just a pattern, not the whole napkin with a pattern. Got it? Great, let's do it. Well, look at that. By now you should already have 2 drawings in your sketchbook. As I mentioned before, you will be also including all of your assignments in this sketchbook. First one will be to answer all of the questions included on the screen. Answer truthfully. Just try to reflect and really think to yourself before you answer. If you feel like when you answer the question it wasn't full, or you have something else to say, don't be afraid to add it. There is no wrong answers here. Just try to answer those questions as honest as you can to yourself. For your very first assignment, I would like you to draw you. The way that you picture yourself, the way that you see yourself, and write a short description about yourself. Keep it like this. It doesn't have to be a face, it can be anything, really. If you associate yourself with an animal, the theme of a drawing is that's you. And however you interpreted it, go crazy. Because after all, again, it's all about creativity, it's all about how you see and feel things. So when you sit down and draw, it can be any media, doesn't really matter. If you don't want to draw, if you don't feel like it, if you don't want to do anything like that, you can just print your photo, do some collages, do some mosaic. There's so many things that you can do for this assignment. So it doesn't really matter if you're drawing or doing something else, as long as you get the message through. So your assignment for this first session will be a depiction of yourself. And that would be it for today. I hope you got some inspiration, some fresh ideas, and I'm really looking forward to see some art of yours if you wish to share it. I'll see you all guys next week. Goodbye.